Hello and welcome back to Reseller World. It's been a while. Well, it's been 2 weeks. I hope you've had a good New Year. Have we been on since the New Year? No, we haven't. No. Happy New Year.
Not been on since Christmas.
Yeah. Hope you had a good Christmas and a good New Year. So
been a lot happening in the last few weeks.
I'm Car Boot Chris, as most of you know, and with me I've got Speak.
Have you forgot what my name is?
Speak or forever hold your peace. It's Bargain Bell, of course.
It's all I'm known as now. I'm no longer Mrs. Hayden. I'm just Bargain Bell.
Yeah, and Cookie is in the other room at the moment, so she's not joining us for the time being. Maybe in a little while. Let's have a little look who we've got in. So Peter was in nice and early, ready to go. Nice one, Peter. I watched your video earlier as well. Very good, as always. Will you take less? Ketan. Let's make it one to remember. Yeah, hopefully. Jord, of course. Chris Tyler. Steve Brano, the one and only. We've got Ian. We've got Linda and Gaz. And Louise is in. Hi, Louise. And Andrew.
They've forgotten that they're live at 7. Why were we late?
I was making you wait a bit. I was just seeing if we could get a few more people in. Because YouTube send out if they send out notifications, they send them out bang on the start time. So people miss the start. So I was giving it an extra 30 seconds. We've got John. What's that? The Greatest Dancer. Oh, right. Yeah.
He was throwing out some moves on Saturday night.
He was. Have you all watched the video of Andrew and us? Well, not much for me because I was videoing, but on the dance floor at Belle's 40th.
Not quite 40 yet, but my early celebration. But he was definitely putting me to shame.
Oh yeah, I've already given him a shout out. So hi Ali, I'll be listening while doing stuff. That's fine. Hi Georgina. A couple of pickers, pick a flipper. Almost, I nearly said pick a flicker.
Pick a flicker.
Joan, hi Joan. And there's Michelle. We got who else? Linda, guys, we said them. I think we said most people. DBG's in the house. That's it. I think we said Ian anyway. But thanks for joining us, people.
I said Paul C.
Where? Oh yeah, Paul. Hi, Paul. Yeah, so thank you very much for joining us. This episode is just going to be completely unscripted. We're just going to go off what you guys are chatting about in the side chat. So feel free to drop any questions for us. We're going to run for an hour. We are fluffing for Nick and Andrea. We are prepping them for their big opening quiz night at 8 p.m. So yeah, we're going to warm you up. And then you can all go straight over at 8 p.m. to join the new quiz channel, which is Let's Get Quizzical.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's going to be regular quizzes on there with Nick and Andrea. So we're going to fluff for them. You can all go off when we've finished.
And we're going to go off to pack.
Yes, because we are traveling soon. We are thrifting in the USA.
And we've not started packing.
Yeah, we're going on a business trip, aren't we?
No, we're going on my birthday trip.
Okay. So yeah, feel free to drop anything in the chat if you want to chat about it. I've got a bit of a leading question to talk about, which is honesty really the best policy? Or is it always the best policy? And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Annabelle says no.
It depends what it is.
No. Is honesty the best policy? You say no.
No. It depends what it is.
You said to me, no, you shouldn't have told the truth.
Not with a particular question you were asked, then no.
Right, well, we'll get to that in a bit.
Andrew says, I assume there'll be a Reseller World from Atlanta.
We might do. Mind you, on the Monday, we'll actually be, by that time, we'll be in New Orleans. Won't we? Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we might
potentially.
but then it'll be.
Well, it's not
they-
Monday. It's not Monday night, is
No.
it? We'd have to work.
I'll
out
just
the
play it by ear. We'll
timings.
see. We'll see what time it is when it comes 7 o'clock, because I ain't got a clue. Is the question whether I'm single? No, it's not.
Pretty sure we all know the answer to that, unless there's something happened.
Well,
Saturday.
actually, as you mention it, I believe a little birdie tells me that he's not single anymore.
Since Saturday.
I'm just throwing it out there. Andrew might not be single anymore.
What do I not know about?
I'm just saying, a little birdie told me.
Has he taken somebody back from my do?
Well,
Which is...
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
Hi, Jimmy. But a little birdie has told me something.
Is that little birdie related to you?
No. What's that? A couple of pickers have said, I like Belle's answer. Was that the 40th thing?
Don't know. Could be my answer to is honesty always the best policy?
Oh, right.
Depends what the question is.
Yeah, she might be right, but I'm going to let you guys decide whether what me telling the truth was the right thing to do or not, and we'll discuss it in a bit.
S. Gordon's put, am I fat? Of course not, dear. See, the truth is always the best. Andrew says, I've been told I'm single anyway.
All I'm saying, girls, is that if you want to be in there, you need to be quick.
If he's already not single, then it's too late.
Oh, about honesty, yeah, of course, I know. I forgot I'd even said that, so yeah, I didn't connect the dots. And Damien says, I'm here now, you can start. Yeah, we haven't really done anything, Damien. Today's show is completely unscripted. I've not got my normal sheet of paper telling me what to talk about. We're just going to roll with it for the next hour until 8 o'clock. You can all then scoot over to Nick and Andrea's quiz show. But if you've got any questions, drop us one. What should we talk about?
Don't know. Watcher 142's dropped in, and so has Retro Reselling 82.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Oliver Ian's in. Where was Matt? There we go. So come on, folks. Tell us, what should we talk about? How was Christmas? Well, it's pretty good for us. I'll tell you what I noticed over Christmas.
Good for you. I worked most of it.
What was I doing then? Sitting on my ass doing nothing?
Sitting on your ass, but at home.
Tell you what, she just thinks that this reselling lark isn't a job.
Oh, it's just a piece of piss.
It was quite good, really. I had a decent Christmas. Obviously well up on last year because I'm full-time now and I wasn't before. I'll tell you what I did notice was Fridays in December. Friday was clearly my busiest day for sales. Every single Friday during December. It was weird. I looking on the graph, you know, when you sell a hub, looking on the graph, Friday, all of them were the biggest days for sales by some margin as well. So a bit of a strange one. I don't know if anything, you know, there that you want to shed some light on for me as to why would it always be Fridays? But
Andrew said, question, who was the greatest dancer on Saturday? I think we've already established it with you, my dear. Definitely.
You tried.
Gordon has said, did you sell all your lingerie?
I've sold a lot of it. I've still probably got about 50% of that stock. So I'm well into profit.
Oliver Ian says, question, how is the move going?
And
I don't know if that ties into Andrew's question, which says, any news to announce today, Chris and Belle?
No, not really. But we can tell you that we have accepted a provisional offer on the house already. We've probably had about 5 or 6 viewings.
And we had 2 offers on.
And we had two offers. And we negotiated a bit, and we got one of the offers closer, not quite to where we wanted it, but I think a bird in the hand is worth more than 2 in a bush, or whatever you call it.
Let's not get onto bushes.
So we had, I don't know, what is the saying? Bird in the hand is worth... I can't remember. Tell us what that saying was. So we had 2 offers. We've provisionally accepted one. We've got to wait for some information from their solicitors to prove, because they're paying by cash. So they're literally going to come to the door, hand over a bag, like 500 grand in the bag. Here's your money for your house, and that's it. Cash purchase.
Woohoo!
Happy days. So yeah, there's got to be a bit of solicitor stuff going on, because they have to prove that they got the money before we can officially accept that offer.
I'm still waiting for my vetting to go through on my job, so that's not progressed any further yet.
We've got vetting to wait for on your job. We're looking around at properties to rent down there, so things are moving slowly on. But it's good that we've got a fairly solid offer. Hopefully we'll know for sure whether that offer is going to go ahead tomorrow.
But that's why it's kind of been a bit busy over Christmas, and we had a break last week.
We didn't have time to deal.
Trying to keep on top of keeping the house sorted for viewings and stuff. It's just been
it's been really busy trying to keep on top of the parcels and the business and everything. Couple of pickers said they are just trying to clean out the garage, getting a little bit overwhelmed.
You've missed a call there. Linda and Gazzy's daughter got to get engaged on Christmas Day. So congratulations. Oh, we can start looking for a hat.
Really? Is that the first thing that came into your mind?
That's what they say, don't they? When you think someone's getting married, you go, oh, start looking for a hat. Not that I've ever wore a hat to a wedding, but yeah, it's exciting. Oh, I broke your thing.
I might have exaggerated a bit there, DBG. It was just an example. I wish. If it were 500k, I wish. Yeah, but no, I was exaggerating. It was just an example amount. My house ain't worth that much.
Ashley said, evening all, anyone taking part in the Death Pile Challenge?
What's the Death Pile Challenge? Who said that?
Is that our game that we play? Is that what she's normally thinking of?
Oh, the Death Pile puzzle.
But we're
not doing it today.
Yeah, we're not doing it today, are
we? We're thinking of just because we've got so much going on, and we're probably going to have to cancel the StreamYard subscription, which then means we won't be able to do all the little intro videos and stuff. We might revert back to having this chinwag about reselling rather than do all the segments again. I know we were only sort of testing it, but it was also taking me a huge amount of time. It's like 2-3 hours to prepare for a video.
I stay out of these decisions. He asked me and I just go whatever, because
I've not 100% decided yet, but just coming on and having what I seem to be taking from the live videos are that people like the interaction more than anything. Because obviously your pre-recordeds don't get that really, unless you do like a premiere or something. But they don't generally get the interaction and that sort of off the cuff sort of questions and stuff.
I still think we should keep the puzzle in though. People like the puzzle.
Maybe we'll keep some elements of it, but we're just going to see how it evolves over the next few weeks.
And I need to try and get it right for a start.
Because we're going to be so busy over probably the next two months or so, maybe a bit longer with moving and stuff potentially. When we do our live, ideally I just want to be able to come along, sit down, go live, let's have a good chat about reselling, rather than me have to do loads of prep for it.
Make a rod for your own back.
I know I did. I don't know, I'd be interested to hear what you think.
DBG said Christmas was sort of robbed from us this year. 3 weeks of the worst sickness I've ever seen. Myself and the kids nearly all ended up in hospital.
Oh God, that's horrible.
Yeah.
What was it, like a viral thing?
I think that neuro bug's been going around. There's a couple of people come in and said they've been really ill over Christmas.
That is horrible.
Damien says, I'm having a busier January than December so far. Watcher1421 says, question, have you found anywhere affordable in Devon so far? No, would be the answer.
Well, we have. We've seen houses. I mean, whether you class them as affordable or not, it's over our budget. I mean, because we're renting, they're so expensive just to rent, and you know, you're not even owning the place.
But they go like that, don't they? Which is why we've kind of had to stop looking until we're in a position to actually accept one of the rented properties, because we keep seeing ones we really want, but then they're gone within a few days, aren't they? Chris Tyler said, Chris, did that Hermes parcel ever arrive? The last one in your video.
Yes, it did. It suddenly started tracking, and it arrived. It actually arrived on the day, because that one was sent via Amazon, fulfilled by merchant. Their estimated arrival day was 28th of December. And it arrived on the 28th, so it still kept me within my delivery times on Amazon, albeit Hermes didn't deliver on their timescale. But there you go. I mean, I didn't expect them to achieve that anyway, so they did pretty well at 4 out of 5. I'm lost on here now.
Ashley has said,
are you at the bottom?
No. Ashley said, just heard about that death pile challenge. She said, think you have to share a video showing your death pile, then you have to get rid of it in January. Have you heard of that?
Oh, right. No, I've not heard of that one. But to be fair, I've done really well since I went full time. I've really worked hard at clearing my death pile, and I've condensed it. I've given some stuff back to charity. And I've cleared a lot. I've cleared a lot of stuff. I'm still working through it, but I've cleared a lot. And it's meant that I've not really been sourcing much for the last 3 months. Been doing a lot of sales, so I've really increased my cash flow.
Packing the giant boxes of clothing that you've ordered.
Yeah, I've worked through most of that. And I've increased my cash flow a lot, which means it's been easier to pay myself every month. So it's been really worthwhile getting through those death piles, and I'd tell you, all of you, to focus on them if you can. I know it's important to keep sourcing even when you have got a lot of stock, because you never know when you might have some dry periods for sourcing. But if you've got shed loads, Andrew, get through it.
I'll shed loads.
It is really, really important, and it will increase your cash flow no end. It has helped me pay me for I've had 2 paydays now, 2 or 3 paydays now, and I've still got good flow in the bank, so that's good.
Oliver Ian says, how did you explain the stock room on the viewings? We don't know, we weren't here.
Where is that question now? I've totally lost them. I like to ping them up on the screen. What time is it?
Time 19:12.
Jesus, you're well behind as well.
Yeah, but that's because I keep up with it and I don't skip. I kind of just work my way through.
I'm going to try and keep up with you now. So how did we explain the stock room? We tidied it up really, really well. We used a load of moving boxes. We boxed everything up because it was all in bags just thrown, a bit like Andrew's cow shed. It was like that in our back room, just piled up high. And we boxed everything up. We were a bit ruthless with some of the stuff. We said, if it's less than £5, it's like, is it worth my time? Maybe not. Charity shop. Or we bundled things together. So we boxed everything up. We stacked it up. It was really neat. So the only other room we've got is the conservatory, which has all my packaging materials and boxes. And we really condensed that. I flattened all the boxes instead of having them in full boxes. So I flattened them all, condensed them, put them into big boxes. And it looks no end neater. It's not as bad as what you think it is when you.
Stuff in the shed outside as well.
No, it's in now. I brought it out there for the first viewing, and then I put it back in after I tidied it. But everything's in the house now.
So it must be tidier even. I've not noticed.
So yeah, it was basically explained. It's a working, it's a working house as well, so people understood that. And this stock room is quite tidy, really. It's quite neat.
I think for us, it was like, having it so full of stuff was good, because it was like, look how big this room is, you can fit so much stuff in it. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. Hitman was just popping in to say hi. He'll watch later. Happy New Year.
Okay. Thanks, Peter. No worries, Hitman. We'll see you later. See you next time. But Matt says, great news. Hope it goes well. DBG, it's only 499k. Sorry, we're way behind. Let's try and get down to the bottom.
I'm just picking out the question bits of it, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oliver Ian's not happy there's no death pile puzzle. We
might keep that one in. I'm just concerned about how much time I'm going to have to prepare, because I don't like doing half a job, you see. If we're going to do not a good show, because it's always a good show, but if we're going to do like all the bells and whistles, I want to do it properly. And if I haven't got time to prepare and do it properly like we have been doing, then I'd rather just sit and have a chat with you guys.
Ashley says we have to keep the death pile puzzle too.
Oh, everyone seems to like that, don't
they?
Yeah. S. Gordon says, Chris, I have a death pile of an assortment of overstock items from Amazon. What would you suggest I do to get rid, as I have listed things, but people just want stuff for nothing? It very much depends what it is. I found that with smaller items, like items worth less than £5, if you're able to bundle them together and make a bigger lot, like, for example, the comics. I've got shed loads of comics. Now, I know that's an easy one to bundle, but I was doing bundles of 10 comics for like 15 quid or something, or I did 120 comics, just standard ones, for £11.99. So that way you're getting rid of a lot of the small items in one go. And I was doing like loot crate bundles, like figures and plushes and DVDs and plushes. That's what I tend to do.
He's carried that question on and said, should I accept low prices or wait it out?
Depends what you've got in it, doesn't it? You know what you paid for these things, and if it's worth you taking those lower offers. If you've only paid 50p for something, then if it's been on for ages, if you get £5, £7, £8, it's worth taking it, isn't it?
George Wright said he forgot to let you know that the death pile puzzle prize came on Christmas Eve. Thank you.
Oh, cool. It was it the, what did I send?
It was the ghost.
Oh yeah, it's the boo, wasn't it?
Mm.
And then I got one back from Craig.
Yeah. Yeah, for your
nice one, George. I know it weren't nothing special, but it was a token sort of prize.
Retro Reseller 92 said, question, do you still get Loot Crate? Has it finished yet?
I've stopped with Loot Crate. They are still operating, because I've had emails from them saying, do you want to subscribe again and stuff. But I don't order from them anymore, because the quality was getting very, very poor, and they were missing months. They were about 3 months behind. The last one that I got, they were about 3 months behind. Do you want to just let Doggy in?
Cam? I don't want to get up. I've got pajamas on.
All right, let's just let Dog, because she's whining at the door. Go on.
Excuse my pajamas. Oh.
Sexy.
And you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Come on. Bill UK says, why do people have things to list?
Come on.
We list same day, next day, max. If you don't list it, we'll not sell. Yeah, I totally agree, but the problem is,
when you didn't start that way.
Well, not that. You go to a car boot on the Sunday. I could buy, when I was going to a car boot, how many items?
Loads.
30 items, maybe even more than 30 items at one car boot. So you start listing on the Monday. On the Tuesday, you decide to go charity shopping. So you bring home some stuff from your shop. Before you know it, within a couple of weeks, you're behind. And then you get distracted, because then you start cherry picking what you want to list, because you're listing the items that you want to list, that you enjoy listing, or those that are quick.
But you weren't doing it full time either.
No.
So you weren't listing every day, whereas now you are. So the chances of you keeping a death pile once you catch up will be a lot less.
Exactly, yeah. My aim is to have a minimal death pile. And maybe we shouldn't call them death piles. It's reserves, isn't it? It's stock reserves. Maybe that's a better name for it. Well, it is, but it's a very negative word. Whereas a reserves, this is valuable stock at the end of the day. That's the way you should look at it. And when things are tight, so maybe you can't afford to go shopping, you can't afford because your cash flow is low, you go into your reserves and you bring some stuff out that you've held on for a while. Retro Raider says, thanks for the chat earlier. No problem. No problem.
We've got Becca in.
Hi, Becca. I've lost your thing on here, so I am. Apparently, Andrew's on a sourcing ban for the 8th month in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck with it. But really, seriously, if you take anything from what I've done in the last 3 months, while I've gone full time, is that I've worked through that pile no end, and my cash flow is way better than what it was. It's allowing me to pay myself a decent wage.
Bill UK's had some good feedback. He said, this is a feedback. Love some customers. Absolutely over the moon with the item dealt with. Personal request. 5-star seller. That's very good.
Cool. That's really good. What's this? I had a dream I got locked in Andrew's cow shed last night and you came back and it was so nice one. You start dreaming about Andrew's cow shed. Jesus.
You did try to get Andrew to go sourcing, didn't you, on Sunday morning, but you didn't have none of it.
I was trying to, because he came up to see us for Belle's 40th party.
30th.
Yeah, whatever. I nearly corrected myself then. I did try and get him to come to Bowler's Car Boot in Manchester on a Sunday morning, but he weren't having it.
No, he wasn't. Stegian Adventures is in the house.
Retro Raider says, honesty is always the best policy we feel. If an item has imperfections, you got to mention it. Well, we'll find out in a minute what I was talking about when I said, is honesty always the best policy? And then maybe you might want to reassess whether it is the best policy.
John Fitzgerald said,
I agree with that, though. I agree with that. Absolutely.
He says, is honesty the best policy? Yes, always. Was a car boot and the lady gave me too much change and I gave it her all back and she gave me some free tracksuit bottoms. See, this is why I said it depends what the question is as to whether it's...
In essence, I agree with you. Yeah. I agree.
See, I agree that I've done that many times where people have given me too much change and stuff like that. And that sort of honesty, definitely. But you'll see when he tells you what his thing was the other day.
You'll decide for yourself whether you think I was right or not. Gareth says he agrees. Reserve stock. Yeah, I think that's a better. I mean, death pile. I don't know who originated that phrase, but it's a good description for it. But really, it's your reserve stock, isn't it? That's the way to look at it.
Vinegar jars in the house.
You know what they call it in the States? Profit piles.
Mm-hmm.
That's another good one, isn't it? That's your profit piles.
Mike Reseller, honesty the best policy? ? eBay description 100%.
Yeah, I agree. I'm always 100% when it comes to descriptions, titles. If there's anything wrong with anything, where is that comment? There it is.
Retro Reselling 82. I don't see them as death piles. They're life piles.
Life piles. I think reserves is good, or profit piles, like they say in the States. Even Andrew doesn't dream about the cow shed. DBG. Now, everybody in the chat is saying this in an Irish accent. They're reading that in an Irish accent. Go on, you do it.
No, I can't do an Irish accent. Unless I'm saying potato.
I'm saying it in my head. I'm not saying it out loud, because when it comes out loud, it won't sound right.
Gareth Lavelle said, what's the cute dog's name? How?
What?
How do you not know Cookie from Cookie and the Haydens?
What's our channel name? Come on.
This is Cookie. Our little baby.
Right, I'm down to the bottom of this one.
Andrew said he said we're both comatose on Sunday morning anyway.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Andrew, I don't think I could have made it out. I was so tired. I wouldn't have got up. I was seriously debating just going myself anyway, but I just thought I can't be bothered.
Even the dog stayed in bed.
Steve Brano said, I told a charity shop worker I was a reseller, and now she scowls at me every time I go in. Now, this is a little bit similar to my situation. And when I get to the bottom of this chat, I'm going to tell you what happened.
Laney's in.
Hi, Laney. Okay. And Mad Tatter's in. Hi, Andy.
We've got Marie Perilette. Perilette. Something like that.
Okay, so I'm at the bottom. Are you at the bottom? Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
So 84 watching, smash that button. Yes, please do. Please hit the like button.
Gareth just put, I just thought it was Car Boot Chris. I've never looked at Cookie and the Haydens.
All right.
Cookie's the original person for our YouTube channel.
Well, no, she's not actually, because
yes, she is.
No, it's not.
Yes, she is. We originally started it as Cookie and the Hayden.
Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you very much for your super chat. Retro Raiders has sent us a super chat. Thank you. Most helpful reseller on YouTube. I'm not sure about that, but
pushing the boat out there.
I'm not sure, but you know what? I thank you very much. I just tell it how it is. That's it, really. That's all we can do. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Tap Docs has put, it's a death pile because it's not live on eBay. True story.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hi, Chris Cookie and the birthday girl. I must be the happiest person turning 40 ever.
Yeah. All right, okay. Right, so here's the situation, right? Now you decide if honesty is always the best policy. Right. Facebook Marketplace. Now it's a bit of a tale behind it, so you'll have to bear with me. I was on Facebook Marketplace and I spotted a bundle of Build-A-Bears. And it was worth me buying them, put it that way. She had them up originally for £25. She'd reduced them to 20 and clearly not got any offers. So I messaged her and I said, a bit of conversation about where are you, blah, 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 the usual stuff. And we agreed on £15. She was more than happy to take £15. And I left it that, okay, we've got a deal. I'll organise to come and collect it. Now, the next message took me by surprise. And I'm wondering if she'd Facebook stalked me by clicking on my profile. Because she messaged me and she said, now you probably know what's going to happen here. But she said, are you a reseller? And are you going to just sell my bears on eBay? Because that really gets on my nerves. Or
no, she said, because that would mean that you would get more money.
No, she didn't say that in that one.
Oh, right.
She just said that's really frustrating when people do that. That's what she said. So I get that and I thought, oh, God, I have to answer this question. Right. Now, me being me, I'm 99.9% honest. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, if she's Facebook stalked me, she already knows that I'm a reseller because I've got my reselling Facebook page on my profile. I've got my YouTube account linked. I've got Instagram on there and everything. So I'm thinking in my head, if I tell a fib and say that these are for me, not for resale, and I turn up on her front door and she calls me out as a liar and she's got her husband there.
You went far too into
your
brain.
That's how my brain works. I'm thinking into the future here. I'm trying to think about the permutations of telling a lie and telling the truth, right? So I decided, you know what? I'll just be honest. Right? And I said to Yes, I am a reseller. I'm going to sell some of them. There was one particular one that there was a good chance I was going to keep. It was a Ghostbusters one with the theme tune on it, which is quite rare and worth a bit of money. So there was a good chance I would keep that and put it with me Sonic the Hedgehog that I've got somewhere here. Oh, it's been packed away now. So I said, I'm going to sell the lower price ones and probably keep Ghostbusters. And she got back to me and she said, what did she say?
Something like, I don't think that's very fair because you're going to make more money out of it than me.
Yeah, I can tell you what I'm going to put it on my Instagram at some point, just to show you.
Bearing in mind, he was sat at the side of me, but hadn't actually told me this conversation was going on until he'd replied with the fact that
no, because I knew what you would say to me, but I just saw the end. I saw a confrontation. I didn't want it.
See, my answer was just say no. These are from my own personal collection.
Let me finish the story, and then we can discuss. Let me finish the story.
Let
me finish the story. It is. I totally agree with you. Right, she said, I don't think that's fair then, as you'll probably make more money on them than me.
Which is what I've just said.
Right? But let me finish the conversation. Then I said to her, why don't you sell them yourself then? And she come back, they're worth more than £5 each. So I said, I don't really see what difference it makes if you get the price that you're asking. I'm just an honest person. Most would not have been. I might make some money, not a lot, but I would also be putting in the time and effort into selling them. It's fine if you don't want to sell them, but maybe you should just take them off Marketplace then, or list them on eBay yourself. So I was pretty nice about it. So then she messaged, I need to see how much they're selling for first. I don't really sell on eBay. I'll get back to you. I'm not being funny. It's just that they was my son's, and he's had them a long time, and if it was up to him, he would keep them now, but he's 10 years old. So I'm thinking, this ain't worth the hassle anymore. So I just said, I'll leave the purchase. Personally, I don't think it's right that people pick and choose who they sell to. My money is worth exactly the same as the next person that comes along, and I hope you manage to sell them okay. So I was absolutely fine with her. Okay, so
you didn't get a response to that.
She didn't reply, but she's fine. I didn't want a reply because that was it. I ended that conversation. I'd ended the transaction. So that was it. I was honest about it. I lost the purchase. She is just a bit crazy, really, because at the end of the day, there's marketplaces flooded with resellers, and my 15 quid is the same as the next person. So what have people been saying?
Vinny J said Facebook Marketplace, that changes things. Laugh out loud. Bill said you have to do the odd fit sometimes. DBG said, don't think honesty would have made a difference. Sounds like she had already sushed it out.
I think you're right there, DBG, which is more reason why I was 100% with her.
Georgina Jill says, why do people even care?
Don't know. No idea.
Vinny J said, if you told a fib, you would also go to hell, which would not be nice, although it would be warm.
Yeah, better than Manchester.
Damien says, people like that don't twig that if a reseller wants it, then they're not asking enough.
But the thing is, you have to put a lot of time and effort into selling something. I think it was 5 Build-A-Bears, would have probably taken me more than an hour easily to list them.
Steve Branagh said, in that case, you should sell on eBay herself.
Absolutely.
Silly woman.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I said.
DVG said, I hate that shite. Piss off.
Hate that shite.
Piss off and put in the work and sell them on eBay yourself.
And that is basically what I said in the nicest possible way.
Yeah. Andrew said, it'll be like that woman who had a go at me for not accepting her £10 offer on my horse. I ended up selling it for 20.
Fair dues. Yeah. Matt said he's come out with some right shit when picking bundles up. I don't like lying to people. I like to be honest and upfront. So do I have to lie next time?
Yes. Retro Raiders, Facebook Marketplace is a pain in the rear. Why should they care what happens to the items?
They shouldn't.
They asked for a set price. They got the price. Transaction over. Sodom.
Exactly.
See, I was one who told you to leave it and not bother with the transaction, because I'm like, if she's going to be like that, don't give her the opportunity to come back and say, actually, I'm going to let you have them. Stuff you bloody...
Yeah, you were right in that, because I was going that way anyway, but after our chat, I didn't want to go and pick them up anyway. And again, right, it was a 45-minute round trip drive, so that's my petrol as well that you got to take out of that.
Andrew Barr said, how much is the time worth? That's the way to justify
Absolutely.
Bill says,
tell her to beep off.
The tax doctor, if they are worried that you are going to make more money but aren't prepared to put in the effort to sell them, then sell them themselves. Lainey said she has the choice to sell it for higher. People are idiots. They don't want it. It shouldn't have anything more to do with them.
No.
So, yeah, see, everyone agrees with me.
So does everyone agree that I should have lied in the first place?
Well, you should have just said it's none of your business.
I don't know. I'm not like that.
But the thing is, the fact that she'd already directly asked you, you knew that by saying yes, you were going to lose the sale.
I knew it. Yeah, I knew I would lose it.
So
but
if you really wanted the sale, you should have just gone, no, they're for my... Because she can't prove whether they're for your personal...
No, she can't.
collection.
But then I could foresee problems when I go knocking on the door. So.
No, because you just say the same.
Well, I'll tell you what. Next time, I'll lie, and I'll get you to go knock on the door and pay the money.
Well, you've done that many times.
No, but I've not lied about it.
TBG, what an infuriating tart. She's well got to be in a bonnet now. You've proper upset DBG. Andrew said, I'd just get my mum to buy them. That was a good point. I could have bought them.
Andrew says, you were honest 100%. Thank you. And a couple of pickers, I would have said I would have done the same thing.
Vinegar Jar wouldn't have bothered trying to prove a point with her.
Yeah.
Bill said, money's money at the end of the day. It is.
Yeah, you're right, Andy, as well. It's not worth getting worried about. It's just Andrew, I just thought I'd raise it.
But Andrew said she'll end up getting a load of time wasted and regret not saying
I know, yes. Yeah. She'll have people wait. She'll be waiting in for people to come, and they won't turn up. I would have gone within the hour to get them. Absolutely, yes. It's none of her business, really. Jasmine says, I agree, don't lie. It can cause more hassle. Exactly. That was what I was worried about.
Well, you weren't technically lying because you were technically
she asked
possibly keeping some.
She asked me a straight question. Are you going to resell these? And if someone asks me a straight question, I prefer to give them a straight answer.
Not if you really... You
Not
really
like you.
That. You really wanted that there.
I wanted the Ghostbusters one.
Then.
And there was a really nice... what was the other one? Bowser.
Yeah.
Bowser. From Mario, that's a really unusual Build-A-Bear. Linda and Gaz, at the end of the day, she was asking for a price for it. Shouldn't matter. Yeah.
Rewind resells if she agreed on a price and you accepted, job done.
Absolutely.
Is she going to ask everybody if they're going to resell?
It seems that way, doesn't it? I just don't understand. I think we're at the bottom. I just don't understand where these people come from.
Ooh, Retro Raider said Build-A-Bear shut down in Plymouth, so marketplaces flooded with them, but as soon as they're listed, they're gone.
I like selling Build-A-Bears, but they've got to be the right ones. I know I've had this conversation.
Andrew
before.
said, Bill said, if you don't say anything, then it's not lying.
True. I don't agree about lying. It makes you feel bad, and keeping your business honest makes 100% money, maybe money, but honest money is better. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I get this. If like you're constantly lying about stuff,
I know.
This is just
it was just a little. It's just a little. I could have, but I felt like she already knew the answer when she asked me. That was the thing. I felt like she already knew the answer.
But this is what I'm saying. It depends what it is. Sometimes you don't have to be 100% honest when it's something like that.
No, I know.
See, sometimes you've got to be ruthless and think, is this deal really worth the aggro?
Yeah.
If it's not worth the aggro, then bye-bye.
I mean, when I've been stood, I have been asked a similar question in charity shops, and I have had to tell a little fib. I have. I've done
That's
it.
worse. That's for charity.
No, but when you're
You're
there
going to hell.
and you're putting
You are
on the spot,
burning.
when you're there and you're
burning.
putting on the spot, it's difficult. When you have time to think about your answer.
I'd have thought it'd have been the other way around. I'd have struggled to lie to someone's face. I look too good to lie to someone's face.
When I say lie, it probably wasn't. They probably
Double
didn't.
standards.
It probably wasn't a straight, are you going to sell this? I think sometimes charity shops have a chat with you when you're buying, don't they? Say, oh, is it for your daughter this? Or, you know, if you're buying a plush, oh, is it for your family? Is it a gift? And you go, oh, yeah. You kind of let them sort of believe
but that
what you're
meant to
doing.
rewind me. So he said, you don't need to lie. There's no requirement to say who or why you want to buy the goods.
True.
She
Absolutely.
sets the price, you agree it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just say John will like that. Make it up simple.
Question: do you think announcing and being honest that we are resellers that would get the best? You know what? I think the woman, right, because she went on to say that they're worth more than £5 each. I think she was expecting me to say, well, I'll give you more for them then. Or I'll give you 20 instead. But I wasn't going to do it because as far as I was concerned, we struck a deal. I offered her 15, she accepted. And then all of a sudden she's telling me they're worth more. So, yeah.
See, I've done this before. Retro Reselling said when haggling before, I've even said they're for my daughter. Ain't even got one. My eldest son gave me a right look. I've done it before where I've gone, oh, do you think Eric would like this? Because he's my nephew.
So you've embellished a lie. Sometimes charity shops are pretty good. Actually, I've had the opposite sort of reaction in charity shops, whereby people ask you, you know, like, are you going to resell them? And then you end up, well, actually, I've got some more in the back if you want them, because what they see is they've got targets, charity shop managers. So they see that if a reseller is going to come in on a regular basis, they're going to help them reach their targets. So there could be the complete opposite if you find a good charity shop. And I know some of the charity that I used to work for, some of the managers in those shops would be more than happy for a reseller to say, you know what, I'm a reseller. I'll happily buy more of this item if you've got it. And it will help them hit their targets.
Yeah.
So there is the complete opposite of the spectrum as well, where you might actually get a good deal.
Well, my Pat Tat's put a good one here. He said sometimes there is a need for subterfuge. If you're in a charity shop full of other obvious resellers, then there's an argument for flying under the radar.
Yeah.
It's all very situational.
Yeah. Watcher says, your main problem, Chris, is that you were beaten in a battle to buy teddies, and now you're moaning about it on the internet. Oh, nothing like a reality check. Thanks for that.
New Build-A-Bears had caused us some trouble somewhere.
I just thought the situation was quite funny, and I'm sure it ain't going to be the first or the last time, you know, that this is going to happen. Mad Tatter, all my local charity shops know what I do, either from me telling them or them working it out. They also know how much exactly. That is what I was saying, Andy, is that it works the other way. If you get in well with your local manager, every single charity shop manager has targets to hit. And if they think that they can hold a load of stuff back, or they can sell it to you before they've even had time to even process it, then they'll do it. I'm telling you now, they'll do it. If most of them will do it.
Crony Crone said, I think you did correct, Chris. So what? Just another small sale. Weigh the possible stress against the profit. You'd probably have turned up. She would have had her son in her arms and a cig in her mouth.
Exactly, yeah. And they'd have been sick all over the teddies that I'd have had to have got the wet wipes on.
Janet YML said, next time do Facebook purchases through a different account. What they don't know won't hurt them.
I'll tell you what, that's not a bad shout, That's not a bad shout. Because I know when I'm buying off somebody, I do tend to click on their profile and
is
have...
that not still lying? Are you not still being deceitful?
No, because you're not saying it. You just keep it. It's
I
privacy.
just like to twist this. Just twist it a little bit.
It's privacy. That is one spoiled pup. I mean, look at the state of her.
She is. She is a pampered pooch. But we're getting as many cuddles in as possible because she's going staying with grandma for 10 days. So we're going to miss her like crazy.
I totally agree with that one, Gareth. Why does it even matter with charity shops? Because items are donated. It doesn't cost them a penny. So really, they should be happy with everything that they get for them.
Lainey's put, I sold my own wallpaper on Facebook and forgot to ask her what she was doing with it.
I just saw something there from Rewind Resells. Who's been in a charity shop with the kids before and then they shout, "Dad, is this a good thing to sell on eBay?" Can you imagine? You just want to swallow up, wouldn't you? DBG says, one charity shop that I shop in a lot. Love me. She never asks what I do with the stuff, but says to me, "I love seeing you come in the door." Yeah, I mean, and so they shouldn't.
I'm going to attack Doctor when charity shop staff make you feel like a shoplifter. No, I'm a reseller.
Retro reselling. Matt says, ever had to DBG, ever had charity shop backroom access? But I tell you what, just on that note, as most of you know, I used to work for a charity, and I'm not going to say what charity. And if you know, please don't put it in the chat because it doesn't matter. The principle of it was that I worked for a charity that had 8 shops and distribution center, and I was completely upfront about what I did in my spare time, i.e. reselling, and they basically told me I was not allowed to buy from any of their shops or their distribution center because it wasn't ethical for me to buy as a staff member and then resell. Now, I could have spent hundreds and hundreds of pounds with them out of my wage that they were paying me back into the charity if they'd have let me, because I'd have had access to, like what Matt's saying, back room. I know all the managers, I know all the shops, the distribution center where a lot of stuff arrives before it even gets sent to a shop. So I could have spent a lot of money with that charity, and that is all money going to charity that costs them nothing. And they cut their nose off to spite their face, as far as I'm concerned with that, don't you?
Yeah, because it wasn't you. When you saw things that you wanted, you were also pointing out the reselling value on eBay and asking them if they were interested in it. That's
a good point. When I first started, I did buy a few items. It was then that they told me they didn't want me to buy them. But every single item I bought, I raised it with the eBay manager. And I always said to them, this item is worth money. Do you want to sell it? Because it was mostly plush toys at the time, because they have so many donated at the place where I worked. Because they didn't really bother selling them on eBay. They always used to just say to me, "No, you take it, you have it, you buy it." And I never took any staff discount initially. And I always gave them the opportunity to sell it first. Now, bearing all that in mind, they still wouldn't let me buy. And I could have spent hundreds and hundreds of pounds of my wages with them. Really frustrating. Look at Cookie.
Retro Raiders has put, Tanya used to work in the warehouse of a large charity down here, and they used to get the pick of the items that came in.
Well, why not? I mean, especially if you work especially if you're a volunteer at a charity, you absolutely should. And no one should care what you're going to do with it. It's no one's business.
Retro Reseller says that's positive with being honest. Backroom access, it saves them time sorting and pricing.
Absolutely. It's easy money in the door and out so fast it doesn't even hit the shelves. There's nothing better than that. I mean, you know yourself, when you buy something, if you've not even managed to put it away and it's sold on eBay before you've even stacked it up, that's brilliant.
Leanne Hill says, can you buy from your old charity employer now, or have you got a lifetime?
No, I could go and buy. I don't work for them. That was the key point. I don't work for them anymore, so I could quite easily, and I probably will at some point.
Said conflict of interest. It's the same with a lot of high-end retailers as well. They give generous staff discounts, but only allow their staff to buy so much product over a year, so they don't sell it on.
I think my main sort of point on it is that, and I have to watch the time, is that they're a charity. And
you weren't buying masses and masses of stuff. It was only initially every so often that you saw stuff that.
But I could have bought loads. I could have spent a lot of money with them, and they'd have got back half my wage.
Kent says employment is not entitlement. Sorry.
No.
I don't think it's a case of you being entitled.
No, not entitled, but I could have spent a lot of money, and it all goes to a good cause, doesn't it?
It's the fact that that stuff could have gone into a charity shop, and you could have still gone into the charity shop and bought it, but we're basically told that you couldn't do that. Well, why couldn't you go in as a paying customer, even just because you work for them?
Oliver Ian, can you imagine if you were getting all your stock from there? Can you imagine how many resellers would be volunteering? Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure a lot of them do. Cookie, get out from there. Go on, go back round that way. Go that way. Yeah, and I'm sure there's some volunteers do buy stock and then resell it on. So yes,
it's money in the pocket.
We've got to call time, because everybody, you need to, when I've finished, not yet, scoot over to Nick and Andrea's new channel, which is Let's Get Quizzical, because they have got their brand new quiz night, Monday night quiz night, 8 p.m. And yeah, so go and see what that's like. We're going to go and check it out. I'm sure you're going to have a look at the old quiz, aren't you? You like a quiz? I'm not mad on quizzes.
Even though I do have...
Oh, yeah, you've got listing to do.
No, I was going to say I've got 3 young men coming round as well.
Oh, right. And you got listing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so feel free to hop over to their new channel, and I hope you enjoy the quiz, and I hope you've enjoyed our chat. And please do let me know what you think about us just reverting back to having an hour's chat like this. I mean, that hour's flown by, hasn't it? Just a quick chat about anything that you guys want to chat about, because I am a bit worried about the time it takes to prep for a full show that we have been doing, especially with all the stuff we've got going on over the next few months. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. And we're going to call it a day. So don't forget, go over to Nick and Andrea's new channel, Let's Get Quizzical. And thanks again, folks.
Just before Retro Raider says, what's the link? Do we have a link for Andrea, Nick and Andrea?
Just search Let's Get Quizzical. I think the icon for their channel is like a question mark on a white background, black and white. So just look for that. But I appreciate you all coming in. I think we hit like nearly 90 watchers there at any one time. So thank you very much. And hopefully we'll go live whilst we're in the States. We're going to do some thrifting. We are meeting up with Jason T. Smith and Stacey in the States. And they're going to take us thrifting in the local Goodwills, which is going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, that is it. I've built up this goodbye no end. So we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.